Hey everybody, this is Joe here in Houston, Texas. I'm in Zone 9A, and it is late December, and everything is so beautiful still. I have such wonderful flowers going. Oh, here's Gentle Hermione. Oh, look, so pretty. And these little, excuse me, lance leaf coneflowers that are looking so great with the little milkweed, native milkweed behind them. And this great rose with all its new growth because it thinks it's spring. Well, I'm taking a quick little look, a little last look at the garden because I'm getting ready to cover it all as much as I can up with leaves. It's going to be, 20 degrees here in about 3 days. And so that's the fickle Houston weather is that it may look like almost spring in the middle of December, but you've got to brace yourself because pretty much, excuse me, it's all going to come crashing down. I feel bad for this little iris. I moved it a year ago, and this is the first time it's bloomed, and well, I don't know if it's going to get the chance to actually bloom. And of course, I'm getting ready to say goodbye. All these zinnias, they're not going to make it through no matter what I cover them with. They will not make it through any kind of 20-degree weather. But most of this, grows so many perennials. So I'm going to cover things up with leaves, mostly because, by next Monday, it'll be 60 degrees again. So I'd love to have some things that are still pretty, but that's very unlikely. I might try to do something with this. They've finally gotten tall. That's probably 3 feet tall at least. It's been a little ratty since the summer, and so it looks so beautiful. This is my favorite coneflower called Pretty Parasols, and I love that. It looks like a little parasol. And of course, all of this salvia is getting ready to bloom. So, and these gorgeous roses. So I will have some winter interest with the rose bushes, with the grasses. But this is really mostly just a perennial garden that will die down and not look terrific during the winter. But the winter is so short, it's not too bad. Now I have all these little seedlings over here. Now this is new. I wanted to try it out. This is a sunflower called Vanilla Ice. And if y'all know me, you know that I'll let pale yellow in, but not bright. And so I thought that was pale enough that I'll plant some more of those in the spring. And hopefully they'll get taller. I think they're supposed to be taller than that. But I will bring my pots in, put them in the garage. 20 degrees is pretty cold. I lost some things even in the garage. I'm not expecting these little cosmos. They were just to see, if it didn't freeze this year, they would be nice in the spring, but I don't think those are going to last. But I will cover up some little seedlings just with leaves. I'm not going to go to a lot of trouble. And some things little seedlings like, I think that's parsley. I think the parsley will probably be okay. Of course, the carrots will be all right. I'm not sure what'll happen to this fennel. It's so delicate. I don't know that I'm going to try to cover it, but I'll put leaves down at the bottom to try to, here, I'm going to get a picture of this, to try to at least protect the bottom of it. And this is that black and blue salvia. Look how beautiful. And it comes back so much. It gets ratty. And I cut it back to the ground at least twice a year. And so, of course, it's just fabulous right now. It would be. So, there she is. Hello, Mrs. Hello. So I thought I'd pop back around here. I feel bad for this rose. It's got all this new beautiful growth and little buds on it. So, And then the bluebonnets down here, I'll throw some leaves on it. They'd probably be completely fine without leaves, but I'm gonna throw some leaves on them anyway. I haven't grown them very much before, and I don't really know. And oh, 290 pink buttons. Look at all the buds. Oh, you know, when you're a gardener, you have to be willing to, you know, knuckle under and say goodbye. I'll throw some leaves on these foxglove. I think they're fine in the winter. I think they actually need the winter, but one of them thinks it's spring already and has started to bloom, or getting ready to. But these are all daylilies, and these are all bulbs here, and they'll all be fine. They'll turn into mush, but they will be perfectly fine. I will throw some leaves on these delphiniums. I think they're fine in the cold. I just planted them, so I don't know how well established they are. But I'll throw some leaves back in here, especially on things that are small. And I'm gonna throw leaves on this and maybe even cover it, because it's so pretty and it's so beautiful all winter long, and it's like the prettiest thing in the yard, one of the prettiest things in the yard right now. And so I'll just throw some leaves on it. But all of this, you know, I really won't do anything. This is all, it'll either die to the ground or be fine. It will continue to look all right. But I'll just, you know, I'll let it go. It's going to take a hit, and it'll take a while to bounce back in February and March. But I'm really just trying to cover some little things, and then we'll take all of these pots into the garage. And you can see where I've already started my leaves. It was a good thing that my sweet yard man he knows me well, and he brought me an insane amount of leaves last week. And so now I'm just putting buckets of them on plants that I think maybe will be pretty when they'll be fine. I'll show you one last really pretty flower going on back here. I'm sorry to be filming in the sunshine, but I've got to start covering things with leaves before it gets dark. This is the Salvia Amistad, and it's just absolutely covered with bloom spikes, and this is gonna die to the ground. It's super tough. It will absolutely come back. Same thing with this fire spike, but I'm not gonna try to cover something that big. I'll just break it all off anyway, so I'll just let it go. These can be a little tender. This Penta, let me try to get it in the shade. This Penta tends to be a little bit tender. It's supposed to be an annual. In Texas, it can be a perennial down here for a couple of years anyway. I will probably cover this. I might cut it short and cover it because I don't want it to die. It's not so hardy that I'm sure it'll come back. So, and I'm covering my little carrots a little bit. That's about all I'll do for those carrots. They'll be fine. So here's my big piles, and here is what I'm most grateful for, is having this massive, massive leaf pile to cover things with. And so, thanks past me for getting leaves. And I'll end on this this big ginger. You know, I planted that to sort of camouflage the leaf pile, and that will get knocked to the ground. It'll be perfectly fine, and it will come back, but it'll be perfectly fine. So anyway, join me in saying adios to this beautiful garden. And it's not gonna look this good again until, I don't know, April. So thanks for watching. Cross your fingers for me that it really doesn't get 20. And I'll give you an update at the end of the week, and you can see the devastation to come. All right, Mrs. Doubtfire, there she is. Say goodbye, Mrs. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.